Hey man, how you been?
Good, and you?
Not too shabby. Whoa! Who the hell are you?
I am vengeance.
I am the terror that flaps in the night?
I am Groot. Wait, I'm confused.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Ninja Coffee, where we drink coffee and talk about stuff.
And what stuff are we going to talk about tonight?
We're going to talk about
Batman.
Yeah.
Or
The Batman.
Batman.
So we've watched the newest Batman movie, and we thought last video we did was about different Batman actors and who was the best Batman. So it's just fitting that we do a video now on the Batman movie. All right, so we've all watched the movie, and it's a very tricky movie to talk about without going into spoilers. But before we go into spoilers, we will just say if we liked it or not, and if we would recommend it. So we can start with you, Mikey.
Definitely liked it. I would definitely recommend it.
I agree.
Okay.
I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it as well. I would recommend it. There are some things... I still feel we haven't gotten the perfect Batman movie.
Nope.
But yeah, we'll talk about that more when we get to spoilers. And let's go into spoilers.
Let's go into spoilers.
Unless someone has anything else to add.
We can dive right into it.
So, this is your spoiler warning. And if you want to watch the movie and come back, you do that. And here we are. Okay, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Where do we start? Let's just, just go. Whatever you feel like talking about. We can talk about the good stuff that we liked with the movie first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So let's begin with the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
This time around, it's Robert Pattinson playing Batman, Bruce Wayne. What do you guys think
about him as Batman? He worked partially for me, but he wasn't I would not have him among top 5. If we would do that list again, he would still be very halfway on that list and not higher. I can say why he didn't work for me, and it's mostly we talked. If you guys haven't watched the last video, we can watch that, and then this will make more sense. Because to have a good Batman for us is like you have to balance the Batman and the Bruce Wayne persona. Both of them are equally important. So, in my opinion, he didn't do a good job as Bruce Wayne, or the director's choice and the way they made the movie and directed it is that they didn't focus much on Bruce Wayne, or they wanted to wait with him being much Bruce Wayne. It's difficult to say, really, and we can touch on that more as well. What about you?
No, I totally agree in that. I think he did a pretty good job as Batman, because being Batman is not easy because you don't talk a lot. A lot of it is physical acting.
Yeah, like
stand up straight,
fight
bad guys. Yeah, but also seem intimidating. Not everyone can do that. One of the bad guys. Intimidating? Yeah, I did. One of the bad guys in the movie is not intimidating at all. Falcone. It's not scary. He's not.
It's Al Pacino mixed with Kramer.
Yeah, it's not easy to be intimidating, and I felt like he did a good job there. But it's like when you remove the mask and everything, he just is. It's not Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne has this classical kind of beauty to him. He doesn't quite work for me as a visual part, and also the scenes are very thin, and it's like you said, it's very hard to say if that's a director's choice or if he
didn't work
out as Bruce Wayne, so they put that aside.
He's very mopey and
stone
face.
Yeah,
Pattinson has come a long way since Twilight, but I felt that Bruce Wayne was a big step back.
Mm.
But like you like you guys touch upon, it could be a part of the director's vision that this Batman is a year to Batman. He's young, he's inexperienced, and Bruce Wayne is the mask. It has always been the mask. Batman is the person. And my theory is that maybe this version of Bruce Wayne or Batman hasn't found his...
He hasn't learned
how to utilize Bruce Wayne yet.
Yeah.
And
so, because they even touch upon that in the movie when he shows up in the funeral.
Yeah.
Is that the only guy who's more shuts out of society than me, or something like that?
Yeah, and he doesn't do charity even. He's not a nice guy in this movie.
No, he's not the Bruce Wayne we all know.
So that's a bit weird as well. Like that was very strange for me because that's not how I would recognize him. Like that's not the Bruce Wayne I am familiar with. But as Paul is saying, there is a scene with Alfred, and Alfred is trying to get him to like, dude, come on, you have to do these things. You have to be Bruce Wayne. People need to see you. And he's like, I'm not interested in that stuff. Batman is what's important. So it might be a conscious decision. Yeah, it's hard to say.
I think maybe if we give him a movie or two, he might be balanced. But for now, he's just the Batman.
And you guys liked him both.
Hence the movie.
Yeah. And you guys both liked him and thought he was good as Batman.
Yeah, because he does what I always wanted the Batman to be.
World's greatest detective.
The detective.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Rachel Gould calls him. And that's why it's also brilliant to use the Riddler as a bad guy. Because you get to really dive into the detective part of...
And the Riddler as well. The riddles and mixed with the serial killer stuff was really cool.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
It's different from what we are used to with...
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey is the last...
or the comic books.
Yeah. Okay, he's a kind of a nutcase in the Gotham show, but still, this is Psycho Riddler to a whole new level. But not just the detective. For the longest time, I've wanted to see a Batman movie from the bad guy's point of view, where the Batman is more like an urban legend to scare the crooks away from the streets. And this movie really nails that part down, where you have
creepy guy.
Like the
first scene.
Yeah, the street crooks always look above their shoulders, and
especially when
into
they
the
see
shadows.
The light.
Like okay, they see the light, so they know that Batman is out there. So
shit.
they always look above, over their shoulders and in the shadows. Is he there? Should I do this? And then you have the guy, the clown gang.
Was that the Nostalgia Critic, or did he just really look like Doug from who's the Nostalgia Critic, the main clown guy he beats up in the subway? He really looked like Nostalgia Critic.
I don't know.
I have to check into that.
But that's the best part, where you just see into the shadows
and you hear the footsteps.
Yeah.
Okay.
How this Batman is able to sneak around like the comics, I don't know, because
those boots are heavy.
Those boots are heavy.
While we're on the subject, one of the things, because you can't avoid comparing this Batman to all the other Batman movies and the characters. So I found the fighting a little bit lackluster, and the choreography. Sometimes I could see the punches miss, and the bad guy would go like this, and that.
Okay,
so that rubs me the wrong way as a martial artist.
This, like we talked about in the last video, it felt like the club fight scene from The Dark Knight. Maybe a little bit better. More better moves than Christian Bale.
Absolutely,
but also it's still reminds me of Christian Bale, and like you said, he misses the punches, so they should maybe have like a pow poof
almost
up there. Like
it was way more closer to the Dark Knight and Christian Bale movies, and even Michael Keaton Batman, in my opinion, than Affleck.
They utilized the dark to make him look better.
Yeah. I really liked his Batman suit in this. Like, it was impenetrable. It could take a lot of damage.
Yeah, that was good.
We saw that with Ben Affleck already, of course, with Batman vs Superman as well. But here the armor was more camouflage. It wasn't like an iron bat.
No.
He looked like he could move pretty well in it. That was cool.
I also like that he knew the parts that weren't bulletproof. He would protect them.
Yeah.
And that's a nice touch too. It's not like went like this and like that.
Oh, Corona.
Yeah. Oh, my Corona.
Okay.
To me, still, he as a Batman fell a little bit short, and he was a little bit not as iconic as Ben Affleck or Michael Keaton. But I would place him higher than Christian Bale as Batman, not as Bruce Wayne.
No, because Christian Bale nails Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, he's perfect Bruce Wayne.
So Pattinson is better where Bale isn't, and
they're the opposite. Yeah. All right, so that's
moving on
to the movie in the. What do you want to go into?
We're still into characters, or should we go into the movie?
No, let's talk about the characters. So
Selena Kyle.
Yeah, I have problems with Selena Kyle. My main problem is that she doesn't have a function in the movie, and her storyline, the whole part with. Again, we're into spoilers, so it doesn't matter. But like Falcone being her father, and all that just didn't feel like it felt like it could have been explored a lot more, and I'll tell why. Is that at first it seems like she's just this random girl working at the club. Doesn't seem like she has a plan at getting back at her father, or the revenge story that comes in later after her friend gets kidnapped and killed. So first when we meet her, she's just like worried about her friend, and she's trying to figure out what happened to her friend, and then out of the blue, it's like, no, she's on this quest for vengeance because Falcone is her father. It became a little bit convoluted, in my opinion. They should have explored the Falcone part more. They should have had more scenes with Falcone, in my opinion. They should have had more scenes with Alfred, and they should have had more scenes with Bruce Wayne, in my opinion. But then we would have like a 4-hour long movie.
Justice League, that works.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
No, but in this case, I felt that 3 hours might have been too long.
I agree.
At times.
My main issue with the runtime, the only time I felt it was a long movie was the last act.
Yeah.
But back to Selena Kyle. I don't completely agree with you on that part.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Because I felt that she did serve a purpose, because she was without her and her undercover in the nightclub. Batman wouldn't have found out about
that. That is true.
The DA, that he was also one of the corrupt guys.
But that could have still just been anyone working in the club that Batman got in touch with. It wasn't that much Catwoman.
No, maybe not, but she still served the purpose.
Yeah. And another thing, as I said, it will sound like I didn't like the movie. I did like the movie, but like I had some issues with Batman just using the same punches and missing some punches. And with Selena Kyle's fighting, I had the problem that it looked animated. It was sped up, like it was, and then everything was slow
CGI.
again. It was CGI.
It is CGI.
And that looked really bad.
Yeah. It is kind of bad when you do it like that. You switch the scene, and then you switch the scene back, and you can tell that it's unnatural movements with the body, especially when you're trained to look for those kind of things.
Yeah, we see that very quickly.
So can really see when something is moving like, no, that's not a human movement.
And she was good at taekwondo kicks and moves that were CGI, but
You
I
can
wish...
see when they cut back to her, like that front kick she does. It's like she does very advanced kicks, and then they cut to a scene and she does front kicks.
It looked a bit...
And she's like, shoulders are up and the arms are like not in the correct position. So it was a bad kick, but it's like nitpicking.
Yeah, it's
really.
nitpicking, and I would like to, as always, I would like the actor to be more trained and more... I know she's supposed to be very feminine and feline, but she would, for me, when the actress is very skinny or thin, I don't buy the power in the punches. Like, you punch someone and they fall 2 meters, you lift them 2 meters off the floor. If that's the case, then I'm like, that would never happen.
Yeah.
But I'm nitpicking. Okay, so that was Selena Kyle.
Yeah, and Bruce or the Bat and the Cat, did it work?
Not at all. No chemistry whatsoever.
And that I agree.
Yeah. They shoehorned that romance in there, and I would have liked Catwoman better if she had her own thing. You got that story without any romance in between those guys, and he would be like, okay, you're doing that. All right, cool. I might have to stop you from killing Falcone, but I'll support you in taking him down. The Cat in the Bat didn't work at all.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton and Michelle Pfeiffer
is the best one.
Yeah.
I agree.
It was like... But also, the director's choice. Like, oh, it's so clear to me that you're a rich boy and all of that.
Yes, where does that come from?
Yeah. I mean...
And there was one sentence that really rubbed me the wrong way. It's when you have... I don't really care too much. I could, see through my fingers... But why? Oh, we have to destroy and take down all rich white people. Why couldn't it just be rich white privileged people? Why do you have to put in white in there? That's just so modern, woke era, and I hate that stuff. But that's just me.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It didn't make sense.
It didn't make any sense, and also stuff like that. It ruins the chemistry between them completely. Those small lashes that they have against each other, and it's not the kind of lashes that's like building up sexual tension or anything. It's just like this is something I really despise about you. You're rich.
But is this also Robert Pattinson being so emotionless?
Yeah.
Is this him or is this her or the chemistry in between them?
Yeah, it could
hard
be,
to say.
Could be. Yeah.
You had something more to add.
In spite of the lack of chemistry, I still think they had better chemistry than Christian Bale and
Anne Hathaway is the most anonymous Catwoman.
Yeah,
I had forgotten that she was in Dark Knight Rises until you said it. Yeah. So
absolutely, in spite of the lack of chemistry, they still had better chemistry.
And I would still put her above Halle Berry as well.
Catwoman would also put her above.
But Halle Berry ain't.
That's just fun.
She's not Selena Kyle.
No.
But Selena Kyle is canon in the movie. There's a picture of Michelle Pfeiffer in the Halle Berry movie.
Yeah.
But let's not go into that movie.
No. We don't. No.
Okay. We could do a list of the worst DC movies ever as well.
Yeah, we can do that sometime.
But okay, moving on.
Riddler.
What
did you guys think?
He was creepy as fuck. The first time we see him in the movie, when he just... I have some issues, but that's just... I loved it. The realism of it worked. The psycho killer worked.
Serial killer was really... That was cool.
But in a day where we actually are able to make comic book accurate characters... And they go back to the Dark Knight realism part. We've done this.
It was very inspired from the Dark Knight.
Yeah. I know that this is what DC or Warner Brothers think works. But we've been there. Dark Knight, the Dark Knight movies did well. But then enter Ben Affleck and the comic book accurate Batman. A Batman that works in a universe with
Superman,
and but now we're back to
But that might be also.
Well, of course, it's
a conscious choice.
Yeah, it's a Elseworld movie. It's
And do you think it's because Batman vs Superman was the ones that came before, so they want to do something different and not do the same thing?
No, because again, this is another part that made me a little bit sad about the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Originally, this movie was going to be directed by Ben Affleck, with Ben Affleck as Batman.
True.
And
put in the DCEU.
And Deathstroke as the villain. It would follow Snyder's
Snyderverse,
where you have Lex Luthor outing Bruce Wayne as Batman for Deathstroke, and I think that would be like totally ultimate Batman movie.
I agree. I still hope we get to see that one day.
Yeah, hopefully. But back to the Riddler, I think he was really scary. He was, and the Riddles, for the movie, it was the perfect guy, the Riddler.
And this really also gave a huge it gave more dimension to the investigations. Batman trying to figure out who the murderer is. It was just perfect that it was riddles.
Yeah. It helped the detective persona.
And the eye contact stuff was really clever.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about that?
No, I love that.
That was really cool.
Yeah, really cool. And I also really, really loved Riddler. I mean, if you're going to do a realistic take on him and not a comic book take, like I said, Pattinson doesn't look like Bruce Wayne. This actor looks exactly what I would think about Riddler, a nerd. They went to that extent of finding this harmless looking guy.
Because it's here. His weapon is this.
His weapon is this. And it was just perfect.
Okay.
And so good that the way they portrayed everything, they made a great detective movie like that. So really, really, that was if you remove that, then you wouldn't have a good movie anymore. That carried the movie for me.
Yeah.
Was that Riddler thing? That was everything. If you had to remove that, this movie would be at the bottom.
That brings me to another thing. Like you said, it helped the whole detective movie. There's a character that, or not character in person, but Gotham City itself. This time around,
city was
it was amazing. It was
that is also something.
It was almost like Burton's.
If you picture Gotham City, that's something you would picture.
The best Gotham City we've gotten so far.
Yeah.
It was always dark. It was always rainy and cloudy and really gritty.
No one really got wet.
Yeah. so it helped that whole noir. And same with Batman narrating the movie, old
Arashikage. Nice touch.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
I really liked the. Again, I'm gonna sound like the only one that is negative here, but I really liked the Riddler up until the last act, and when the first hour of the movie, I was like, "This is the coolest Batman movie ever. This is probably gonna be the Batman movie I have wanted all my life." But that's until a certain point, and then for me, the movie. This is again something we're going to afterwards.
It didn't know where to end.
Yeah, it goes from being very focused, and this main part of the story is Riddler and the murders, and then it branches out on too many plot points and too many stories it wants to tell. But I have some questions about the Riddler. The stuff that bothered me a little bit after the movie, who are all those guys that came?
That was his followers on the.
Was that the followers or the people from the orphanage?
No, those were followers.
They were followers.
Okay,
because they asked what
caliber should we bring, and this was guys.
That is true, but it still is a stretch for me that should have also been shown more. I know they didn't want to reveal that he had other people working with him, but it becomes a little bit too M. Night Shyamalan with a twist at the end that, oh, he had 50 guys come and work for him. And I would love to see at least more interaction between him and the followers or the guys he was like bringing in. I would love to see something other, like some other scene with them helping him, or that it was just out of nowhere. He's got like 50 people coming and doing and also, why did they want to blow up all that stuff and destroy the city? What was the point of that?
Well, the way that they explained it in the movie, and for me it was enough, was that he has over 500 followers, real fringe stuff. One of the police officers says, and then you get to see the site, and you see that last video where he gets all emotional and says, "You've been with me with this journey." He's been planning this with the guys on, and then you see all the messages on the side there. So for me, that was enough.
But what I mean is,
it wouldn't be interesting to see a lot of interactions with. It would explain it more, yes, but it wouldn't be.
You didn't need that.
I didn't need it, and it wouldn't be interesting for me to watch.
I have another question. Like all the other stuff he did, the murders, it made sense with his story and his background, but I still can't wrap my head around why did they want to destroy the dam and destroy the city? That was nothing that was connected to the other stuff.
To me, it seemed like he didn't feel that Gotham City could be redeemed or saved.
Yeah, it's kind of the big flood thing.
Yeah,
big flood. But I also agree that it's a bit. That one's a bit of a stretch. I get it. I get it, but it would seem more like I want to kill like every powerful guy, because it's like
his like motive and his thing.
Yeah, because it went from I want to kill the bad guys to kill everyone.
Yeah.
So that was a little bit.
Yeah. It felt to me at least that we need one huge action scene and one dramatic ending thing. So then they did that instead.
Yeah. It seems like that. It seemed very tacked on, and I agree on that one. It was a little bit diluted.
I would love to have one final thing that he did after they caught him, because when he was sitting in the cafe, he knew he was going to get caught.
Yeah.
But still, that was a bit. It didn't feel connected to his way of thinking and planning on what he'd done before. But again, I might be reading way too much into this.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
All right. Next.
There are a lot of characters in this. You want guys, Falcone or Penguin?
Falcone.
It's John Turturro.
Yeah.
It's Al Pacino's voice on Kramer's face.
Yeah, he felt like a Seinfeld villain.
Yeah. And also, I would have bought Falcone more if we had. I wish they didn't do that in this movie, and I wish they just built him up for the next movie. Like, you see Falcone a lot, so you kind of get familiar with him, but he becomes this kingpin in the next movies, or like this huge reveal is a part of the next movie, because that story needed more build-up, in my opinion.
But instead, it felt more like a downfall of Falcone was the build-up of Cobblepot as the new kingpin of...
But none of this had any build-up.
No.
It felt, it's like you said, at some point the movie just splits out into too many things. You had like that fantastic work they did with the Riddler, wonderful fleshing out of the riddles, it was really clever, very exciting, and the detective stuff, and then suddenly you get another kind of movie-ish.
Yeah, the atmosphere of the movie changes.
Yeah, it does. And for me, it didn't quite work, that thing.
It changes the second Alfred is in the explosion.
Yeah, around there.
We don't have to talk that much about the other characters.
Just touch on
a couple of them, but
Penguin.
I love him.
Best character, best acting. I mean, like, I was really impressed by his performance. Colin Farrell.
Yeah, he was
great as the Penguin.
Yeah,
I still think I would rank Danny DeVito on top, but this was.
And I wish we had more Penguin in the movie as well.
Yeah,
but he's getting his own HBO show.
I heard that, but yeah. Is that going to be with Batman?
I don't know. It's HBO, so they have bigger budgets, so there might be because there's already 2 spin-off shows. Spinning off from the movie. You have the Cobblepot show and you have Gotham PD. Speaking of Gotham PD, what do you feel about what did you guys think about Gordon?
I didn't like him. He felt like a very generic, boring Gordon, but I talked to my brother Hash, and he really liked Gordon, and he said but this is the first time Gordon is actually a part of the story and is actively doing stuff. So that's, I mean,
I agree. I agree with your brother. He Gary Oldman, he nails the look, the comic book look, but and same with Simmons from Justice League. He nails J. Jonah. He nails
anything. He does.
Omni-Man. No, but still, Jeffrey Wright. He's the first James Gordon who's actually doing stuff in the
movie.
Yeah,
I agree with that, but he's still he's a good actor, but he wasn't James Gordon for me.
At times, he felt more like Felix Leiter from James Bond, played by the same guy.
Yeah. And I'll just also, I'm going to be hated as I'm always, that's fine. I'm not too big fan of sex and race changes of characters. I want them to be comic book accurate. It didn't bother me that he was different, but I felt he didn't he didn't have too much personality, in my opinion. He did the Gordon stuff, but Gary Oldman's, he brought such a range to that character and the emotions and everything. It's not comparable to Gary Oldman's performance, in my opinion.
I still feel that Wright and Patterson's chemistry worked really well. The escape scene from the police station.
It was kind of funny that he was afraid of heights.
Yeah.
That was new.
Yeah, but it's still young.
That was cool.
But
he would have broken all the bones in his body after that crash. Yeah. I don't care about what kind of armor you were wearing.
All right, and last character before we move on to
just the movie and finishing up this video. It's probably way too long already. Who?
Alfred. Our movie.
Alfred.
Alfred, yeah.
Yeah.
What did you guys think? Andy Serkis as Alfred.
I felt that we saw too little of him. I think he had the potential.
Absolutely.
But they didn't use it.
Totally agree. These are the things that, all in all, make the movie not just come a bit short.
To me, the best Alfred is the guy from Gotham, the TV show.
Oh yeah.
Because if you read the comics, he's more he trains
his mentor. He's training him in combat and fighting.
Yeah, he's.
But I got the impression this Alfred did that as well.
Yeah, that's why I said it's a missed potential. They hinted at it, but we never got to see him like. I would really like to see Alfred kick ass in a movie.
I was also impressed by Alfred in Batman vs Superman. He was a good Alfred.
Yeah. Irons is
is really good, a good actor as well. I also, these are the problems I have with the movie. That I wish there was more exploring of the different characters, or fewer characters. You would have a more focused story. I would love to have a big the Selena Kyle story with Falcone more explored. Falcone's character more explored, and maybe I felt the movie just shot all their ammunition at once towards the end of the movie.
Yeah. Speaking of
shooting ammunition,
I said Alfred was the last character, but the Joker.
Oh yeah. Well, let's finish up with. Are we done with Alfred? You want to add anything? No, it's good. Yeah. More of Alfred, more of Selena Kyle, more of Falcone, and more of Bruce Wayne would have really be for me. That would have worked better. That
Absolutely.
would make the movie stick the landing. Okay, so last the character, the Joker. Yeah,
The Joker.
that was a bit interesting because that's not Jared Leto Joker. That's not Joaquin Phoenix Joker. Who is this guy?
This is one of the Eternals.
But he's not even credited as Joker, is he? In this one, I think it's like
didn't see if it's
Prisoner
like
or
Patient
something.
X or
something like
I
that.
don't know. But we know who it is. I think he even had white face and green hair behind that. But does that mean that the Batman has already
Met him
gone
before?
face to face with the Joker?
Good
Since
question.
he's already in Arkham.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
It
really
raises a couple of questions.
It does, definitely.
Like that's not always the case in the the Dark Knight Joker was Joker without having had anything to do with Batman and Joaquin Phoenix. Could it be Phoenix?
I was looking like, is that just they couldn't afford him, so, but they're hoping to get him in for the next movie.
The actor is the guy who played the guy from Eternals.
I haven't seen Eternals yet.
Okay, there's one of these guys who can
Mind control.
others.
Okay. Just want to touch upon. Just want to go into one more thing. Really, really cool scene. Probably my favorite scene in the movie. When Bruce Wayne, when they've caught the Riddler, and he's in the apartment of Riddler, and he's reading the stuff, and he's seeing pictures of himself, and oh shit.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Riddler's cell, and he starts talking to him, and Bruce Wayne is convinced at first, that was the impression I got, that this guy knows who I am.
Yeah.
And then he's almost about to reveal, like, okay,
Bruce Wayne.
yeah. But then it's like, hey, wait. No, he doesn't know that it's me. That was so good.
Yeah.
That was really
That
good.
was a good twist.
And that's the thing, like, at times this movie is so competent and it does something so well. The first movie is just amazing, and some things are just better than you've seen in any other Batman movie. So this is why it's kind of sad, because it had the potential of being the best Batman movie we've gotten so far, in my opinion. All right, guys, is there anything else, or should we wrap this up? Probably should wrap this up.
Where would you rank this
Movie? I've been thinking about that since Friday.
without we don't have to go through all of the movies, but I think you and I have the same. If
more
we
or
go
less.
for solo movies,
Yeah.
leaving Justice League and Batman v Superman out of this.
Oh, okay. So I don't need to put, because I would put it under those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave Snyder's Batman out of this.
I would
go
rank
solo.
it probably. I'm a bit unsure of. Yeah,
I know we agree on the first. I think
is it Dark Knight or Batman Returns?
Batman Returns.
I'm almost 50-50 on those.
Yeah.
I mean, the Nolan movie is really good, but Batman Returns has a really special place.
Same.
Yeah. So I would say Dark Knight is a better movie. If you're gonna tell somebody it's never watched a Batman movie.
Dark Knight has its flaws as well.
Yeah, of course.
But we can do that
We can do
another
that
time as well.
But I would probably have it below Dark Knight, Batman Returns, and maybe even it'd probably be third or fourth place. I'm not sure. I would probably put it after Michael Keaton 1989 Batman as well. Fourth place.
That would make it fifth in my ranking.
Yeah, after.
Because I would put Returns on top.
Yeah.
Batman Begins second, because Batman Begins is so underrated. It's
I agree.
and Christian Bale had to voice the perfect suit, and then he fucked up everything in The Dark Knight, and it felt like a comic book movie. Dark Knight is just an action thriller.
It is. It's a crime action thriller.
So to me, Batman Begins is superior.
To me, Batman Begins is a really good movie up until the last act with the train and all this stuff. But
so I
That's
would
a different
I would rank the two first Nolan movies and Michael Keaton's movies
and then
above,
this one.
and then this one. Yeah.
And Mikey?
Oh, I haven't seen every Batman movie out there, so I have no way of being
But you've
able
seen the
to.
Nolan movies. Would you say this is better or below Dark Knight and Batman Begins?
Dark Knight is definitely a favorite of mine.
You haven't seen the Michael Keaton Batman?
I have seen
But it's
them,
a long
but
time
it's
ago.
so long. It's
All right.
almost
Yeah.
like when I was a child, so
Okay.
it's impossible
If
for
we
me
were
to
gonna-
make a list.
If
But,
we-
but
yeah.
what I could say about this one is that if it didn't branch out, if they had focused more on the Riddler story, like that was the bad guy, and that was only the bad guy, and you fleshed out the other characters that we pointed
And
out,
we built that up for another movie.
this movie would have been.
Yeah.
It would probably be the movie that you want.
I know.
It would be the
Yeah,
movie.
I agree.
But it's like,
If this would have only been about Batman, Bruce Wayne, and catching the Riddler, the Circular, and nothing else, all the other stuff you could have in, just explore them, don't conclude them, this would probably be a 10 out of 10 for me.
I agree.
Yeah. So, okay, out of 10.
A 7 out of 10.
6 out of 10.
7.
Okay. All right, guys. That's it. So I hope you didn't fall asleep. Hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry if it's a bit too long. We needed to get this out of our system as well.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. And thanks you guys for joining me and teaming up like this. We should do this again.
Of course.
Okay.
Maybe the viewers could give us any
Feedback.
ideas on what to.
How would you rank it? What did you like? Did you like it? Where would you place it in a ranking compared with all the other Batman movies?
Where should we? What should we talk about next time?
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a nice evening. Shaka kapow. It's Batman.